What's up, human beings? My name is Damon, and welcome to another vlog for the In My Opinion talk show. And today, I would like to talk about gender and gender roles. Yes, and it's a very confusing topic. So let's start off by defining gender. So gender can be seen as a social construct that deals with femininity and masculinity. And the social construct aspect is very debatable. A lot of people do not agree that it's a social construct. They think it's a natural way that we are as men and women. And this is where we have to make a distinction between biological sex and gender. And biological sex has to do with male and female, while gender has to do with masculinity and femininity. Now, the reason why this is so confusing, and it's understandable why it is, because it's a fairly new concept. Now, when I say it's a fairly new concept, I don't mean that we didn't have a concept of masculine and feminine energies, because clearly we did. We could see from the African civilizations, like we could see Ish and Isha, we can see Isis and Osiris. Those are feminine energies, and feminine and masculine energies. So we're not talking about the idea of that thing. We're talking about the concept of gender. And this concept of gender arose around the postmodern era, which is the era after the Renaissance period, which when people were revolting against the patriarchal ideas that arose during the Renaissance period. So people like Simone de Beauvoir, Richard Van Craft, Ebbing, John Stuart Mill, etc., etc. We can go on. And these people wrote about feminism, and through that, the concept of gender arose and gender roles. Now, we can see, given the history of it, how nasty and how confusing this concept is. Now, what we can also see is that society also pushes these gender roles and the concept of gender, because when you're born, if you're a girl, they wrap you in a pink towel. If you're a boy, they wrap you in a blue towel. Now, what that does, it helps the parents and the guardians to groom the child according to certain gender norms growing up, and thus gender roles. Now, what happens is that when you are accustomed to learning certain things about how you should behave as a person, then when you are feeling a certain way that's not necessarily in line with what they taught you, then it becomes really confusing, and the world all of a sudden becomes a confusing place. And I think that's what's happening to a lot of us. We don't understand how to react to the way we feel. And today, I'd like to shed a little bit of light on that. And the light I want to shed is that we need both masculine and feminine energy to be a balanced individual. Because take, for example, nurturing. Nurturing is a feminine trait, right? It's something that we believe that women are better at than men, and they are. And but at the same time, men need to be nurturing. And if we're not nurturing, then we're going to have a problem. Also, take, for example, hunting. Hunting is considered to be a masculine trait, because the man needs to go out and do this and do that and provide for his family and so forth and so on. But at the same time, we see that women also need to have this trait, because sometimes it doesn't work out where the man can always be there, right? So we see that the individual needs to have both traits and both energies in order to be balanced. Now, brothers, do yourself a favor. If you come home and you feel like you want to cook for your woman, or clean the house, or do laundry, go ahead, do it. Do yourself a favor, and don't fight the feeling and think that, oh, I'm a man, I'm not supposed to be doing this. That's ridiculous. It's stupid. And sisters, if you feel like fixing something around the house or mowing the lawn, go ahead and do it. Don't feel like it's a man's job or this or that, because that's just confusing the whole thing. So I hope we can see from here that we need to give in to what we really are, because the tough guys and the cool poles will not work. Brothers, please. You know what I'm saying? Don't follow certain kinds of mindset and certain kinds of concept, because it's ridiculous, right? We need to have a balanced characteristic as a human, and having and giving into your feminine trait, your feminine energy is also good. Now, we can open up a big can of worms by saying this, but I hope you understand the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is not that I'm saying men are supposed to be effeminate, because that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying the feminine energy and the masculine energy needs to combine to create a balance so we can be a more balanced individual. So I thank you for all those who've been supporting these vlogs, and feel free to share if you like the comments, and because this is an opinion-based thing that we're doing, so nothing is set in stone. Just feel free to make a comment. If you disagree with me, you could say it. I don't feel no way about it. And thank you for all the support, and remember, don't sit in the dark waiting for the light.